peace, power, love, black power, and black peace. Humam Abdulmalik once again with Blackanized Report, the other half of Black Report of Malik and Malik. This morning, I'd just like to say I want to give praises and gratitude and everything to the world, to the universe, to the Creator and my ancestors. 22,716 days as of 10:57 p.m. last night. How long I've been on this planet. See my majestic, beautiful, majestic, matriarch, voodoo priestess, juju queen, oracle queen, sister Kemetic, April, always in frequency, vibrations, and energy of the universe, of our black verse, our verses in communication, of black power, always, Hotep, Ashe. And in that 22,716 days of my existence or life here on the planet, 270 of those days was when I was in my mother's womb or in her stomach or placenta bubble or in the water that I was inside of my mother. 270 of those days. Good morning, justice, love, Hotep, peace, Habari Ghani. 15 of those days was leap year days, because it's every 4 years and like 62 revolutions around the sun. It was 15 days, extra days. And the other 22,645 days was the amount of days it took 62 revolutions around the sun, according to the solar calendar. The calendar that I was going by, calculations and all. But I'm humbled and I'm blessed to be here, to be part of our continual quest to become black into our innerstanding of the universe. Habari Ghani, my sister, Habari Ghani, with much love and respect, Sister Justice of Love. And that our quest to get black into our ancient future, to take control black of the planet through matriarchic power and ma'at, of practicing a natural, simplistic way of life, the way that we done once before when we were in tune with the universe. Being in tune with the universe and the essence of our inner being in the chambers of the pyramid of our mind, in the temple of our body, with the energy of the Creator, the creative energy being in us. We are part of the creative energy, this universal energy, this quantum energy, this energy of life, this energy that's a natural energy, but it's a supreme natural energy. They call this energy God, Allah, Jah. We give this energy many different names, but it's just what it is. It's undefinable. We only can be it or of it, but we can't define something as magnificent as that, as great as that, as powerful as that. But it's in everything. It's everything. That's why we be in tune with nature. We be in tune with each other. And on this day, I was blessed to come into this world. And I always like to share this story that I have been sharing lately. My mother, who had me, didn't have to have me. She could have aborted me. She didn't. She brought me allowed me to come into this world by divine decree. She didn't raise me. She gave me to another sister to raise me. She didn't have to do that, but she did. Until she transitioned. Both of my mothers transitioned. My bloodline mother She transitioned first, then the mother who raised me transitioned second, then my ancestors who I love to life always will reflect upon what they gave me. They gave me this moment here right now to be able to communicate with us in this digital space that we're in right now using this technology, social media, what they call it. And my love for them is like my love for the universe, is the love for the Creator. It's the love for my ancestors. It's the love for all my matriarchic sisters on the planet, all my warrior queens and sisters on this planet, for all my warrior priest brothers on this planet, all black people on this planet. My love is that type of love, especially in this day and time where we got to become a one mind, one purpose, one aim. We must overcome the rule and laws of this racist European entity that's on the planet Earth, who bloodline is of a primate, genome primate, from caves, from dealing with bestiality and cannibalistic stuff and homosexuality, bestiality and all that. We got to step away from them and their culture, their holidays and everything. We must do that today as of a millennium ago. It's just a add-on. See, this quest that we in today is just, we just piggybacking, excuse me, that word pork, I don't deal with it. We monkey backing on our ancestors who have strove and striven for us to get to this point in time in life, to be able to deal with our natural enemy. They have left signs, they have left information in the annals of ANAAL, so we can get that right, so I don't want nobody mistaking what I'm saying, of time and history, the books of life that they have left for us to follow, from the griot, in the books, and we just got to find them. All our great teachers, George Jackson, Imhotep. Imhotep, I'll say him, I'll use him too. Who else? Diop. People of that quality. We got to look at the leaders of the day, real leaders of the day, that they have killed. Malcolm, King, Khalid Muhammad. The leaders of the day also, we got Minister Farrakhan, we got Reverend Wilson, we got Reverend Jeremiah Wright, that talk truth to power, and they get attacked by the system. We got to also point out these other people that are not leaders no more because they've been sold out. I ain't going to call their names. We should know their names. Slick Kid dude and the Rainbow Coalition type dude. I don't want to talk bad about none of my brothers no more, but we got to deal with them and put them where they're at and leave them where they're at. This quest, or I ain't going to even say struggle, because it ain't no struggle. It's just being in tune with nature and just being in alignment with the love, the self-love and the self-healing of black people, so that we can stop killing each other in our community through social engineering. That is a weapon being used against us. We have to know that in order to deal with the truth of the matter. And people always say that we can't do this and we can't do that, not only in the so-called ghetto streets of America or our communities or neighborhood, because ghetto is a state of mind. I always hear people say, man, we can't do that, man. We just can't come together. We just can't unify. We can do everything else. We can celebrate holidays that don't even belong to us. We can celebrate holidays that when they were put in effect, we weren't even in effect. We weren't even called human beings. Just like this one today, that people are going to be celebrating all around this country, around this nation. And black people should be ashamed to celebrate this. They say, oh, America's ours, America's this. America is not ours because we don't run America. America is run by a group of people that not even part of the so-called government, the criminal enterprise. They are outside of it. The people that run America is part of culpable states, the international bankers, Rothschild, Rockefeller, DuPont, Mellons, and all those type people. They run America outside of the confines of the so-called government that's supposed to be running America. All that position about red top and all that, he just a figurehead that's doing his job to get their job done. They got a plan that they're trying to implement. He says he want to take America back to when it was great. He know that is totally impossible for any European to do, any European system to do that. Ever since they've been on the planet Earth, they have done nothing great. Since they've been in the position of leadership, ever since patriotic power came into power, there's been chaos and confusion, disease, pestilence, and everything. Since they came out the cave and mixed with humanity. And this is when the insanity came about and distorted our thinking, our concept of life, our divine way of life, through murder, torture, and terrorism, racism, white supremacy, white privilege. This is the reality of this system worldwide. That's why today I've been asking for, I think the last 4 months, right, that we as black people unify around the globe with a mass global boycott. You can say protest, boycott, or whatever against racism, terrorism, and all that these people are perpetrating against us, not yesterday, but today. Don't you know, in different parts of the country, they're finding people that have been lynched. Not only that, they found that, then not only lynched, they found people dead with their body parts gone. So we know that is occurring. Kidnapping of people, young ladies, young brothers, and everything, with body parts gone for sex rings and all of that. See, this is the nature of the beast. We're dealing with a beast. And when I say beast, I'm talking about an animal. According to their scientific findings, genome primate is an animal bloodline. Dog, monkey, whatever. That's right, Sister Justice Love. And I want to thank, who is that? Ole Lee Can Rule, Hotep Habarigani. Are calling for a total boycott, global boycott. Not just not me, us. I'm talking about from the realms of our ancestors by divine decree. It's just I'm being a conducive for this message from our ancestors to unify. It's a message of unification. It's a message of sending a message to these people that control the world in their tyrannic mindset. We got to let them know that their rule is at an end, according to the annals again of the words left by our ancestors through different methodologies. The Nation of Islam tells us all the time that 6,000 years was their rule, and we find stuff in their book where truth and falsehood is strangely mixed. I'm talking about the Bible. They would talk about their time is up. They would talk about prophecies or prophecies of what the brother name? Nicodemus or other people that prophesize when these people make the capital of Israel, Jerusalem, the capital of Israel, then that is the time for a third world war, the war Armageddon. See, they write all this stuff and have it detailed in their bloodline. That's why they marry in their families and all that, to keep their precept and concepts going. That's why the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and all them people, they always inbreed or inmarry so they can keep everything going the way they want to, to keep this system the way it's going. That's their methodology. And we got to understand that. That's why we got to unify. And those people that are saying that we can't, they don't want to because they like in the comfort zone. They in the comfort zone the way this system is set up because they might be getting a little bit more than everybody else. But that is not the tone that we need to set. We need to be in tune with our nature. We need to be in tune with nature. We need to be in tune with the frequency and vibrations and energy of this age of Aquarius, where the energy is coming down in a amount that is beyond the belief of certain people. They don't even know what's going on. They don't know why a lot of people are, I'll say, not conscious, but becoming collectively inspired. I want to thank Brother Benton Rainford. I want to say Hotep, Ashe, Habarigani to you. So in detail, this is the fourth day? Yes, this is the fourth day of this global world boycott. A mass boycott locally, nationally, and globally. And we just do it. We just get in sync with the energy, with the thought, a divine thought, an ancestral thought. It is a form of revolution and evolution. See, we used to communicate telepathically. We have to get back in that energy and into that understanding of our universe and our power of our universe, in the chambers, in the pyramids of our mind, in the temple of the divine essence that is within us. We have to act on that. We have to grow into that and be a part of that. And it's all unity. It's a when we talk about unity, we're talking about being in tune. We're talking about being in tune with the universe. We're talking about substance of a divine essence in us. We're talking about dealing on a level of divinity, that we are gods and goddesses in the sense of being in tune with the energy. I don't like to use the word God, but I'll use it for our understanding. That we're in tune with the supreme essence of life, the creator of everything that we can comprehend and beyond. And we got to get in tune with that and be part of this revolutionary movement, this evolutionary movement. I want to say Hotep, Habari Ghani to Brother Dingo Man. I don't know where brothers from, but wherever we from, the sisters and brothers, wherever we from on the planet, what city, what state, here in the United Snakes of Hypocrisy, so-called United States of America, but it's the United Snakes of Hypocrisy under satanic administration. We got to know that. We got to understand that. We got to take back the power and give it back to the matriarchic essence of who we are as a people, and have our spiritual warrior priest kings to support our matriarchic oracle voodoo priestess queens to get back in power, to take back the power, to take it black to the essence of who we are as a people when we was living in harmony and peace. That's where we want to take it back, because in talking about great, they talking about taking it back to great. They trying to take it back to a situation where they really had their foot on our necks, where they had total control over us and we had no say in what they done. But them days are over. Those days been over. With the Deacons for Defense, the Black Panthers, Nat Turner, everybody that they don't even talk about, the Seminole Indians or Native Americans, they don't talk about them that didn't go for slavery, didn't accept slavery. See, we got to deal with this concept that you're only a slave when you accept that mentality, when you accept it. See, I always say I've never been a slave or a nigger. A nigger is not me, because a nigger can't be you, because we're being free mentally to know that a nigger as their definition was for the derogatory term that they try to apply to us, was that someone was shiftless and lazy, or lazy and shiftless. So how can the term nigger apply to us in what 15 anything, 16 anything, 17 anything, 1800s? We was in the field by forced labor, in tobacco fields, sugar fields, wherever we were, here in America, in the islands, in Jamaica, and West Indies, or South America, wherever we were in the field working, forced to work from sun up to sundown. So how could that fit us? They are the niggas. Europeans are niggas because they sat on the porch and did nothing. We are niggas. Niggas is an old term, Abyssinian term for king. And we got to know that. We got to live that. We got to realize that. And we can't let nobody validate us. I'd like to thank this singer, this great singer, who is also, I ain't going to say thank he a poet, but I know he a better singer than he, no, I ain't going to say a better singer than he is a poet. That is Mr. Fredrick Douglass, also a.k.a. Swoop. The brother can sing, but he's a good poet too. Only reason I can say, I'm saying he can sing because I want to be his manager. Hotel, my brother, good brother there. And but that's the essence of who we are and what we are in this day and time. The pillage has to stop, not only in the land, but in our mind. See, we got to recapture our mind. We have to re-implement our thinking that is divine. We got to reprogram ourselves. We have to relearn and rethink. Everything that's European, we have to rid ourselves of. We have to rid ourselves of European thoughts, and the way we do that, we stop practicing the holidays, the religions, the customs, and the culture of European anything. We must get black into ourselves and get black into who we are as a people, united as one. We have to get back into the understanding of who we are. We have to hold our sisters up in the esteem that where they once were, as matriarch, melanated, carbonated queens that really rule. They rule in a ma'at, the balance of truth, justice, and prosperity of a community, of a federation of states and all that. It was like, it wasn't border. We didn't have border lines when we was in control. We didn't have chaos and confusion when we were in control in a matriarchic state. But when the patriotic government and rule came into existence through the fallacy of Adam and Eve, talking about Eve gave Adam an apple, a fruit that she got from a snake, and they're the snake. So what it's saying in a sense that I don't go with the fallacy, but I'm just doing a symbolic symmetry of what may have taken place in this storybook tale. European, that's a snake, like we in the United Snakes of Hypocrisy, gave Eve a poison apple or something, and she gave it to Adam. I'm just saying in that, at this time, I'm just being a storyteller. Like they told us a story, I'm telling a story, trying to put some credence to it. So she got a drug or contaminated apple from this snake, European, that was crawling around hiding in their so-called garden, and she gave it to this guy called Adam, and then everything went haywire. He got sick or whatever. But I ain't even dealing with that. That's a fallacy. What really happened on the walls of ancient Egypt is where the truth is etched in stone. The sister Shekat gave the fruit of knowledge to the Pharaoh at that time, who needed help in ruling the land. And in that essence, they stole that context off the wall of ancient Egypt and turned it around. That's what they have done with all the knowledge and everything that we have, that where truth is etched in stone. They took it and turned it around. And you can see by the studies of, what's the brother name? Akwa Kwesi. He goes to Egypt and he points out all these particulars of what I just said. Not only that, the Moses story, every story that they put in the Bible, you can see the similarity that was taken off the walls of ancient Kemet and plagiarized but distorted. And you can see the similarity of everything that they talk about. And those scribes that wrote all that, they did that and stayed on a certain timeline, bloodline, to keep everything going in a certain way, so to a certain time that they'll try to implement their world control and domination like they've been doing, but it's going to be more with more profound tyranny than ever was before in this modern day and time. And everything they're doing day to day is trying to duplicate and replicate what we had a long time ago. See, they try to confine us in 2018 years. They try to keep our mind in that type of timeline. And in the 400 or 500 years of that time, we was in captivity. And what do they teach us in their schools that they have been teaching like we fools? They always tell us our story is about captivity and all that. And even down this museum that they so graciously built for us, the African American Museum, they don't start with our greatness, or they give you a little inkling of Africa and this and that, but most of that stuff is in there is about our the slavery and the black laws and Jim Crow laws and all that. Then we go into another era of all the jazz and all that and this and that. But they always want to keep us in the mindset of being slaves and servants or subservient to them. Even when we was coming up in the 60s, 50s, or 30s, they always had a white Jesus in the church walls, on the church walls, with blue eyes and blonde hair. They said he's the Son of God or God. And I ain't just talking. I heard them say that with my own ears. I experienced this with my own eyes. And then I did this also, which I experienced in church with the preacher, with a picture of this white Jesus hanging behind this preacher that was saying Jesus is going to come back with hair wool and feet of bronze. And I'm saying, if this so-called supposed to be the word of God and you showing this picture, then there's a contradiction. And since that contradiction, when I was at 12 years old, I'm saying it naturally don't set right with me. Divinely don't set with me. So I was inspired from not this moment, but not when my third eye opened about 5 years ago. I was always on this path of being who I am. The divinity in me was always stimulated. It was stimulated by my friend. He was a couple of years older than me, named Larry Weaver. I got to give always credence to this brother. He was my real first teacher about nationalism, Africanism, and who I was as a black man. And I was 12 then. He was about 13 or 14 or something like that, or maybe 2 or 3 years older than me, but very spiritually inclined, nationalistic. He was a black man, a black warrior back then. And he opened my mind to where I'm at now, in this divine state of mind that I'm in now, and it's all about progress. And I got to give credit to another sister, Khadijah, Davis-Foulks. She used to always say, you don't know who you are. It kept alluding to, you don't know who you are, right? And I was practicing Islam at the time, and she kept saying that. Now, what is she saying? I kind of knew what she was saying, but I didn't want to accept that because I was so Islamically inclined at the time. But in my growth and development, I deal with Islam, I deal with Christianity, because I took my Kalima Shahada in 81. And then after my third eye opened, right in this room, right in that vicinity right there, energy entered me, the energy came in me that through my kundalini, my chakra centers were operating, my kundalini was operating, where my melanin within me stimulated my pineal gland, and the energy came, I felt it coming top of my head through my whole body. That was 5 years ago. So I'm all these things that they say. I'm Muslim, I'm Christian, I'm Jew, I'm Hindu, I'm Shindu, I'm everything. I'm atheist, I'm all that, because it's all part of the universe. And there's only one creator, so everything that's in this existence comes from the creator. And then they put this thing on it when they wrote this book. They talk about God and the devil and Satan and all that. All that is a state of mind. All that, the good and evil, is within us. It's energy. We act out how we act out. If we be like the creator, then we're going to do that. If we get into the negative energy, we can put the label on that's bad or that's devilish and all that. It's just how we define things. But we got to divinely define ourselves and our being, and we got to unify right now. So this boycott, this mass global boycott must be done to show these people that they are undone, that enough is enough, that they're killing us through social engineering by our own hands and by their hands is going to stop. We are going to stop it with our young warriors with some love. We're going to confront our brothers, not confrontational confront, but confront them with words of wisdom and love. We have to self-heal. And people be talking about we can't do this and we can't do that. We do what we do because we will it, because the energy of the Creator is in us. We do everything else that we want to do. We spend our money every weekend having a party, getting intoxicated and all that, having a good time, we say. We do that. So if we put that same energy into saving ourselves from ourselves, then why we can't do it? If we say we're going to unify and show some self-love and some self-healing, why we can't do it? We just got to put the action behind the words. And everything that's in our mind, we got to manifest it in this reality. Just like King said. He said he had a dream. He said that that dream may be a nightmare. But whatever, like if we do have a dream, we got to manifest it in our reality. And what he was trying to do is to try to manifest a reality of justice and social equality. But that can never be with us and somebody that's against our nature, who against our deity, who against everything that we are, because they know who we are. That's why they don't want to be succeeded in their power. That's why they want to hold on to their power. That's why they be getting body parts and trying to get melanin. That's why they be doing it. And I'm talking about those Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and DuPonts and Mellons and all those, the 13 families and the Vatican and all that. The Vatican is just in a occult practice. They are the one who implemented slavery on the planet Earth and says and came from God, because they say they the intermediary from God, their God. I don't know what God they're talking about, but no God or deity that we as humanity will allow the things that they done to another human being. So the Creator that we know is in harmony and peace. Our Creator is about harmony and peace. But we also at times must be warriors. And this is one of those times. And another thing that I'm promoting is that we should practice no more European holidays starting with this day. I know that it might be falling on deaf ears, because some people be a walking dead. No matter what you say, they so mentally dead and so programmed, and they under robot control, selling their soul or sold their soul and becoming Negro pen, that they won't step out the box. They won't even try to change their mentality or their attitude. But those people are lost. We reach back, we give them, we pull them, we say, man, this is not the way that you're living. You're not living according to the divine dictates of your own nature. When you try to be like someone else against your nature, it ain't going to work. And then we have to understand how they're trying to poison us with everything, through the education, dumbing our students down, through the food, GMO foods, through the air with this chemtrail stuff, and through the water, everything, fluoride and lead in the water. So we're under attack, and we got to think black into the black essence of who we are, divine spiritual beings. We got to do that, because if we don't, it will never stop in our communities. what they doing in the community. They bring all the drugs and the guns in our community through our hands because we don't understand that that's not the only way that we can, like they say, eat. Our young brothers. Yes, I used to be an imam when I was in college. I was in I was in Petersburg. I was an imam when I was in minimum Akaquan or whatever coming out. I was an imam twice, and I'm well read and very cultured and spiritual and all that. And like I said, it started from when I was young. Black Panthers. I used to be in the Black Man Volunteer Army of Liberation. I answered a question for the sister that she just asked, was I an imam before? And yes, I was. I was an imam. We all imams. We all leaders, spiritual leaders of our homes first, and and that's how it is. But we always say the man is the head of the house, which is true. But the sister is the head of that. We are both leaders in the house, and we both have our duties in unity. But in a matriarchal society, we have to realize that all life and everything comes through the sister. Even though we put the seed of life in her, if she ain't bring it about, if she didn't do the testing or whatever, when the seed clings onto the flesh, and for those 9 months, if she didn't do that, there wouldn't be no life. So life comes from our sister, our matriarchal queens. That's why we must hold them in high esteem. And being an imam and practicing Islam for when I was on the inside, I was like in college, or I was incarcerated. It ain't no big thing that I was incarcerated. It ain't no little thing. It was that the lifestyle that I was living, because I was incorporated into trying to straddle the fence, having the knowledge that I had back then, but saying I would never work and this and that. And to answer your question, yes, I was an imam maybe 3 times. And being on the inside, as I said, it was more brotherhood there because we was confined, but you met brothers from all over the country and some very, very intelligent brothers on the inside of our on inside. It's really a plantation, because that's the only place that you can be a slave, but you make it what you want to make it. A lot of us, victims of recidivism under the syndrome, revolving door syndrome, but you cannot become institutionalized. I know, I got you, but it's all right. They can't stop the truth, because the truth is going to be always. They can't stop it. You in California. What part of California are you in, sister? We got to make that connection on the West Coast to the East Coast and through the Central America, but you got to plant that seed. You got to speak on that mass national boycott. That's a connection. This is currency, and the currency is the connection. It's like electrical energy, and we got to do that. I didn't know you was way over in California, or did I? Because you're on my page, and I humbly apologize. Sometimes I overlook the information, but like I said, the brotherhood on the inside is much greater on the outside. Coming on the outside, it'd be like totally different. You got to become part of cliques almost and stuff like that. And even like when I came home, I was like, by divine decree, I made Hajj to Mecca. I've been to Africa twice. So I made a spiritual and a culture journey in my life. And from the programming that was already in me, I was not like brainwashed or indoctrinated or educated. I was self-taught. Everything that I be speaking, I read it, or I went to lectures, or it's just in my DNA, right? It's in my DNA. Central California, what would that be? LA? Well, I got to look at the map, but that's cool. Thank you. But it's about us getting in tune with ourselves, like we making this connection in this digital world. We're making the connection to uplift our people. It's not, it's not to be used like you a sister come on here and be saying things about love and this and that and all that. But it's a universal love. It's a divine love. This ain't about no lust. This is about developing and being real and upfront with our sisters, and the sisters being upfront with the brothers. And we can't use that. Well, don't worry about it. It's gonna be all right. It might be the distance. I don't know. But we can't use this as a playground or a phone book for that. This is about evolutionary progress. I know when I first started looking at Facebook, it was a lot of dumb stuff to be on here. It's still a lot of dumb stuff. People showing fights and all that, man. It ain't about that. That's a derogatory thing that we do that we got to get away from. We got to become spiritual warriors and mystical warriors. We got to be warriors, and we got to be people that guard and protect our community. We got to do that. That's what it's all about in this day and time in the age of Aquarius. It's about us being real with ourselves. It's about us growing. It's about us being warriors, warrior priests, kings, and voodoo priestesses and voodoo priests and shamans and warlocks and witches and everything to get that energy, the energy of the universe, to heal ourselves, to get it back into everything that they took from us and turn it around and made it what they want in their practices, and made like the Masons and all that, secret organizations, and then they got the Greek fraternities, and then they freaked them out and all that. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying that we shouldn't even be practicing nothing Greek when the Greeks stole everything from us from ancient Kemet. So we got to get back into that, and we just got to do it through our divine nature. We have a divine nature that we got to tap into. It's in our DNA. That spiral, the DNA, everything is divinely prescripted in that. And the energy, we got to learn about all the energy centers in us, the chakra centers and the kundalini, the pituitary and the pineal gland, and the melanin, and all that activation where your third eye will open, and you'll have a new clarification of your life here. You'll be connected to the divine energy. And that's what it's all about, being connected to the divine energy that's in us, in this temple. And then working with that to develop as a community, to connect not only here, wherever. I'm in D.C., my sister, Washington, D.C. I'm a Washingtonian. But like I said, I've been Africa twice, east coast of Africa, and I've been on Hajj once. So therefore, I had a spiritual and culture journey, and I'm repeating that. I just want that to be known. And I just wanted to be known that I'm not egotistical or arrogant and all that. I've been told myself that I'm going to rid myself of that. Everything that I am, I have reflected upon it and say that I'm not going to be this and I'm not going to be that. Because one time I was like a criminal. I had a criminal mentality. I had to overcome that. That's not my reality. How can I be talking about one thing, uplifting my people, or being a revolutionary, and then I'm out here doing things that hurt my people? So I have an understanding that I can't straddle the fence. So I have an experience that I can reach our young brothers, our young predators that's on the street corners that really, in reality, are young warriors. And all we have to do is show them some love and and give them an understanding of some self-healing. And when they be talking, I gotta eat. Yeah, what you can eat. You ain't gotta hurt other people to eat. You ain't gotta kill your people to eat. And then it's all through social engineering and social narcotics. The same thing that we allow them to put in our minds and our consciousness, we can do it ourselves and raise up and just develop into that black nation again, that black world again. And we can't get caught up in our egotistical, arrogant dispositions, because we got like the Moors always say, you got a higher self and a lower self. And in my studies, I come to realize it's all in our mind or brains. We got a animalistic side, then we got a mammal side, but that high and third side is a divine side. And we got to tap into that divinity that's in us. And it's just waiting for us to open up to it. It's there. It's in our DNA. It's in our universe. And all we got to do is understand that. Understand who we are and be the warriors that we need to be. And I want to re-emphasize again, today is a holiday that we as black people should not be celebrating. We can save money by not buying all the fireworks to show what? What is it about lighting off fireworks? To show power, the gunpowder or something like that? The warmongering mentality that these people went all over the earth, and everywhere they went, they took the land, they killed, they raped, they plundered, and everything. And the 4th of July celebration that they be celebrating, when they celebrated, they won their independence from England, which they became a corporation of. America's a corporation of England. So all it was a charade anyway. But then when at that time in 1776, we had went to about 200 years of in captivity as so-called slaves. Then it was like 19 up to 1800, about 100 and something years after that, we were still in captivity. So how can we practice a practice that talk about being independent and we weren't in a state of independence? We're not in a state of independence now because we're under the rule of the so-called government. They're supposed to be about democracy, but it's all about hypocrisy. It's a criminal enterprise, and they got it rated as a so-called government. And who is the government? The people that we elect. But who controls the government? These Europeans that put this in place. Their founding fathers, a group of Masons, a group of Europeans that stole our knowledge, and they called themselves deities at the time. They did what they did from a state of being like God-like, because they have a God complex. And so, but we are the real energy of the Creator here on the planet Earth, and that's what we got to understand. We have to understand that Asar, Aset, and Heru is their Trinity, where they say the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Again, they take the women out the picture, or a woman out the picture. So that's probably why we got a whole lot of homosexuality going on, whole lot of pedophilia going on, which they trying to implement in the laws of the land. They already got the laws passed about the homosexuality, that they can allow man and woman get married in the churches and through the fraudulent laws. This is their culture. We have to understand that this ain't just started. This how they were a long time ago. We can look back on history, right? We can look back on Alexander the Great. He was a Greek. What was he? He had all the women at the world at his control back. And what did he do? He was in a relationship with a man. What about the Romans? The same thing. They had orgies with men. And the so-called Jews, what they do? When a little baby is born, they suck the baby's phallus. And the Pope. You know what the popes do, the Romans do? They be paying people off not to tell on them. But people be following that stuff. We got to get into our own way of life, so-called religion. We got to go black and deal with our deity, our orishas. You know, they say that we practice polytheism or animalism and all that. All we don't. All it is that we know that the universe is one and everything is part of the Creator. It's a Creator in everything. So that's the way they try to mislead us. And everything that we do, they try to say that it's bad and negative and all that. But they take stuff and turn it around and they use it, and they use it against us. Just like the Greek fraternities. That they got all their information and knowledge from us. All the Greeks sat at the feet of great Kemetic scholars. Imhotep, Tohudi, and all them. And then they take it and twist it around, and then they said that it's Greek information and all that. It's preposterous. And we gotta stop practicing the lie and deal with the truth. And I ain't gonna keep talking because I know I'm bending people's ears, but I got a lot of things to say to get out of me, because the words are my weapons. These words that I speak are the weapons of truth. The words that I speak are our ammunition to overcome the debilitating attack upon us by these people to control the system that we live under. We have to develop our own system, get back to a black Wall Street. We have to develop an infrastructure of blackness, of black people. I know all the other people on the planet is cool, and I'm just a race man. I know that we are the one that's under attack, we're the ones that suffer the most from everybody on the planet. We got to develop a connection with Akabulan, Axiom, so-called Africa, because we got the Chinese now in there trying to colonize. After everybody else has been in Africa and colonized that big old continent, because we ain't controlling it. See, we got to tear down them barriers of country and become a united continent. One monetary system, one language, or one people, one purpose, one aim. If we do that, when we do that, I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when we do that, very soon in this day and time, right here during this age of Aquarius, I'm talking about this early part of, we got to take black the whole planet. The European, he got to lead the planet, relinquish his power, go back in the caves or whatever. The best one for him to do is relinquish his power, because he can't get off the planet. He's trying to do that, but he can't live off this planet, because he got to have the resources. Unless he find one of them planets way off and they're not telling us something about where it's sustainable with plants, food, and all that. But other than that, this is the only planet right now that they can sustain themselves. But their control and power in controlling this planet has been detrimental not only to us as human beings, but to the planet itself, through the pollution and everything, through the cutting down the trees that deals with oxygen and all that. And all this is for profit. They got a capitalist mentality, a hoarding mentality. They'll have everything that they need and hold on to it and try to get more. That's just like taxes. We make $1, they want 75 cents of it, almost, and give us 15 cents, almost. I'm just being facetious right now, but we have to develop our own system. We have to deal with a infrastructure apart from their infrastructure, because these people don't have our best interest. Never did, never will. They just want us subservient to them. They want us to be in a criminal state of mind so they can play slave catchers, take us to the auction box in the courtrooms, and then give us time to be in the on the plantation, which is the penitentiaries and jails. But if we don't commit crimes, we won't have to deal with them. We won't need them in our community. We be the protectors of our own community against them. Because in D.C., they had twice, in Southeast D.C., Washington, D.C., twice, they had sex rings by the police. Just recently, they caught a police selling guns in our community. And I always say, how big is this? Is it organized crime in this criminal enterprise by those that's supposed to protect us? How deep does it go? How far does it go? If it goes there, is it part of a missing body, a part ring also? Or just sending people away instead of just having them local? We got to ask ourselves these questions in this day and time. So I say once again, a mass boycott started July the 1st, going for 21 days. This is the 4th day. We should be doing it around the country, locally, around the country, around the globe. There's a group of people come together, do it. Select whatever target, whatever corporation that we know that is not favorable in our community, that's racist or part of the racist regime or terrorist regime of these Europeans, or some of these immigrants that come over here. I like my brothers from Africa, but some of them come over here, get Americanized to a certain degree. I'll give you for instance. It's a drink that I like in 7-Eleven, right? Costs 99 cents. It come out of the 7-Eleven factory, right? For 99 cents. All the 7-Elevens I've been in, that's how it is. But except one. It's in Southeast on South Capitol Street. It costs 99 cents. This particular store marks it up to $1.50. That's a markup of 51 cents. Why? And what else is he marking up, or they marking up in our community like that? I want to protest there, or I want to really burn it down. I want to throw a Molotov cocktail and burn it down, because they're exploiting our people in community. This is an outright shame that they do this. It come out the factory, 99 cents. It's written on the thing. And they're going to up it 51 cents, man. If they're doing it for that, what else is they overcharging our people for? And I'm very angry at them. And not only that, them Ethiopian brothers will come over here. They will try to mess with our sisters, but they don't want nobody to interact with their sisters. They got to stop that. And man, there's so much I can say about this meeting some of our African brothers and sisters, how Americanized they be and how much they back Trump and I'm a Mason and I'm a this and I'm a that. You just come in here. You don't know nothing about America. And you had a colonized mentality over there. You were scared over there in your country. You talk about what's going over in your country and you come over here and you be trying to become European, where you become Negropean, trying to emulate them and be like them and sell your soul for materialistic gain and all that. It ain't nothing with making a lot of money and this and that and going to school to get all that, but don't forget who you are. I like the, who is his brother? It's Reggie. I was going to say about reggae, like you Jamaican, I don't know. But I'm going to say one love. Jah love, the Lion of Judah. I'm say Hotep. I'm say Salam Alaikum. I'm say all these things, and I'm saying wherever we're at, like the sister Justice Love is in California, spread that message about this mass global world boycott, locally, nationally, and globally. We got to do that. We got to make these people know and wake up. This day and time, we are unified. We're going to stop the dying in our communities. We're going to take our communities back. We're going to control our own communities. Because we know the jump out squad, I don't know what y'all call them over there, but we know that all this killing ain't coming from our hands. Some of it is, a lot of it may be. But a lot of it you be sneaking in with them Ku Klux Klan because they infiltrated the police force. Just like these lynchings, man. They by the police force or the Ku Klux Klan, but it's going to stop. All these kidnapping our sisters for the body parts and our brothers for the body parts is going to stop. Dracula and the vampire nation of the vampire millionaires and them werewolves, your genome primates, it's going to stop. No more. We're going to protect ourselves from you. We're going to put up a barrier like sweet water and salt water. And the racism got to end. This is what this boycott is about the racism, about the exploitation, about the murders in our community, all that. And we just pick one of these racist corporations or McDonald's that's selling all this bad food in our community. Don't you know that food ain't no good? Don't you know you can leave a hamburger or french fries out for 2 years and will not like go bad? You know, like food you leave out, is fungus or something going to come on it, the magnets or something, when it's real food. But when you leave that out, it's not real food. So that's what they're doing. They poison us. All these fast food places are poisoning us. We got to get away from the medical industrial complex. We got to start taking real medicine, which is fruit and vegetables. We got to realize that that's the real medicine. Nature is our real medicine, is our real way out of this synthetic world that we be in, that they created. See, they're not natural people. They have a genome primate bloodline. They're not real humans, really, holistically. We are the only humans on the planet. So we got to know that. And everybody come from us because we were the first on the planet. We the original people from the divine essence with a divine essence. And we're in a evolutionary movement now where we got to take black to control. We got to go back to the ancient future and deal with this. So I think I have talked enough, and I think that we have met in this digital world for a reason, by divine decree. We have to be the divinity that us and connecting that divinity to energy. The frequency vibration of the energy of the Creator is in us, and we must build on that and connect to it. We must develop our minds and bodies and spirits on that level and become the divine energy and divine beings on this planet Earth and take back our communities and build our communities and uphold our matriarchal queens so that we can have ma'at, balance, justice, and harmony within our systems here in this physical plane and develop to be the the energy of the deity of the Creator, the kings and queens on this earth now. Don't practice no more holidays, starting with this. Save your money. Save your money. Stop practicing all these European holidays. Boycott all European establishments of racism and tyranny and all these immigrants who have the same mentality as them. Talking about the Koreans, the Vietnamese, the Ethiopians, whoever don't treat us fairly in our community, boycott them. Buy black. Find a black store if you have to go 2 or 3 miles out of your way. Support all black businesses. And we got to do that. I was talking to a sister yesterday, and that she said that we don't do that. We have to do that. We got to do that. It's a must that we do that. That's the only way we're going to establish the black world that we got to get back to. We got to establish the black world to get black to it. And we do it by a divine essence that's in us. That's a blessing. With that, I want to say peace, power, and love. Hotep, assalamu alaikum, habarigani, lafia, and every black person on this planet know that I love you divinely. And I want to say amen. I'll see y'all tomorrow, if my Creator allow me to give me that fresh breath of life. Peace.